Good morning, everybody. First of all, apart from researcher at the Hellenic University, which I'm glad to be in this project, where I learned a lot of things. I'm an archaeologist and museologist with a master's degree and Master of Science in Cultural Informatics and Communication. Following the three previous presentations of these partners in this project, eCultSkills, I will talk about how to become a successful digital culturalist manager. Probably the term successful in the title would sound rather promising, but I will show you here actually the methodology followed within the project in order to someone who wants to be a digital culturalist manager to have all the proper, let's say, qualifications in matters of knowledge, skills, and competencies in order to achieve the respected level and actually fulfill all his tasks and all his duties he is responsible for. So we saw previously a synopsis of this in detail actually, each of the five job roles. I will explain, will show you here in a more analytical way, what is the role, the mission, the duties, the things that he has to do, how we formulate this profile. And actually I will show you more the skills, which is the most important here thing, based on the frameworks described previously, the eCompetence framework, ECF and EQF. And of course how to train a little bit, but further discussion will be from the next speaker. While we saw the description of the five job profiles, we can find more analytical information from this website of the eJobs Observatory, where we have all the forms of these five job profiles, and from which website you could actually evaluate and become a link to a website where we have an online questionnaire and say your thoughts and evaluate on your own the five job profiles. Well, during this project, we started how to, I'll explain you how we contacted the forums. We were based on the desk and field research. We tried to gather all the notifications, all the job advertisements, the proclamations, all the questionnaires. We contacted questionnaires actually with people from museums and professionals or people that are working in the industries and are very close with what it means, digital culture, digital heritage, cultural heritage, etc. So, in order to understand what is actually the role of this, what is the duties, what is the objects of this job. As I said before, from this website, the Jobs Observatory, you will see this is the form that it is pretty much the same for all the job profiles. On the left side we see the main fields that are the same for all the job profiles, and we see that the digital culturalist manager can be named as the digital curator as well. So he deals actually with the preservation, the management and exploitation of the collections of the museum or for another cultural institution, but here we are referring more to the museums actually. And he's accountable and responsible for many things, as we see here. So, more analytically, what is actually his duties? He actually responsible for the organization, preservation, exploitation, and of course provision of access to this digital cultural content, since we're talking about digital files. His mission is to undertake all the design of the administration and the exploitation, as I mentioned before, of this digital museum collection. So he's managing what it should be digitized, or how we can preserve it, and how can store this, because the issues of storage and retrieval or getting back all these files are very essential for the digital cultural asset manager. As I said before, since he's a manager, he should be able to conduct the best organization preservation plan, according, of course, to the plan of the museum, to develop, manage, and optimize as possible, in the better way, the museum's digital collection. He should be aware of the legal framework or the national law about the copyright, the cultural property in digital form. He should be able to plan for the best exploitation of the digital assets, what is best for the cultural institution, the museum. Collaborate, of course, with numerous of museum experts, because since he's a manager, I will show you later with whom he should collaborate closely. So he should be actually develop always what was brought in theories, always find new solutions to technical solutions and concepts, and always, of course, it is the most essential to be always be informed about what is new, the new trends in the technology, and always be informed. That is the crucial. As I said before, digital cultural asset manager is a person that collaborates and works closely with lots of departments of a museum. He doesn't work alone. He should collaborate with the digital media and marketing department, since he has to exploit the digital collection with the curators of the museum, the management department, and of course the communication department, in order to find ways to display, to show and present this digital content. The KPIs are very important for each role. It means that we have, it's the key performance indicators. It means that we have some indicators that are very valuable for each role. Here, for example, we have the diversity and size of the digital content. For example, if we're talking about a very big, for example, museum, or for a museum that has lots of different kind of collections in 3D or 2D size, you should find ways in order to digitalize all this content. Of course, it's the same for the number of frequency of these museum visitors. Again, if we're talking about a well-known museum in comparison with a small-sized museum, it has a great effort to do all this, for accomplishing all these tasks. Of course, interoperability is very important too, because we're talking about different kinds and different types of digital forms, and according to the aesthetical part of the museum and of the collection. He should be able to, of course, important thing actually is the evaluation of the museum experience. It matters how the museum itself, but the visitors as well, evaluates with questionnaires or with other ways how they see or how they experience this digital content as well. The time period that he spends in order to collaborate and talk with his partners, and of course intellectual property rules that I mentioned before, he should be aware of them as well. These skills were based on as we said before, the ECF and EQF mentioned before for previous project as well. So through this, so I said that we formulated a methodology. We actually developed a guideline that we will talk about more analytically afterwards. But we're talking about the learning outcomes. In order for someone to become a successful digital cultural asset manager, he has to know some things he should have some the proper learning and training from the museum or for another institution or vocational education training program. So these learning outcomes that we concluded were relevant to the qualifications and the level, which I'll show you later. We were based in order to find out the skills needed for the digital cultural manager. We were based on the EQF, which is the 8 different levels of knowledge, skills, and competencies. That means if we want a more experienced guy, a more experienced professional in our job, in our museum, we have to go to the 3 latest level, which is 6, 7, and 8. 6 is, let's say, equivalent with someone who has a bachelor degree. Level 7 is for a master degree, and level 8 for a PhD degree. Another framework is the ECF, where we have 40, this is the 40 competencies that someone who deal with the e-content, digital content. So we pick up some of them that are based on the profile that we have. This is the form, an example of the form. For example, the digital cultural manager, he should be aware, he should have the competence of digital asset management plan development. He should do this. In the dimension 2, it is described what the task that he's able for. Level 3 and 4 are the level of knowledge and competence that he has to show. K's and S are K for knowledge, what he should know, be aware of, and the skills that he is able to do in matters of accomplishments. When we have the learning outcomes, we were based again on the ABCD approaches, which is in terms of audience, behavior, condition, and degree, and the Bloom's taxonomy that was mentioned before in terms of knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, evaluation. That means that someone who has some knowledge, he's able to comprehend this knowledge, then apply this knowledge, and furthermore, for someone more experienced, he should be able to have the 3 latest. So the training guidelines are, their aim is to improve the training offers that we have here in Greece or in a European level, increase the transparency and comparability of qualification in order to be more competitive, someone, and more successful in that way, and of course increase all this profile from the profiles, but from the digital culture itself, the mobility in the cultural sector, since we're talking about new jobs abroad. For Greece, I mean, we are be able to have the proper qualifications in order to work abroad as well. There will be a formulated platform. This is coming soon. It's not yet constructed. This is the link that you'll be able to link in and find more information.